Good morning, Birmingham. Today is Tuesday, February 17th. The time is 9:36 a.m. I call to order the meeting of the Birmingham City Council. This morning, our invocation will be led by Reverend James Bell, Associate Minister, New Pilgrim Baptist Church of Birmingham, and our Pledge of Allegiance will be led, well, I'll lead it if Councilor Williams doesn't show up by the time of the pledge. Is Reverend Bell here? Good morning, Reverend Bell. If you all please stand and join us.
I am so happy to be in your midst, and I thank God for the invitation. It is written, wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And with all you're getting, get understanding. Let's pray. Father, thank you, Lord, for waking us up, giving us a clear sense of direction. Thank you, Father, for forgiving us of all of our sins, asking you to strengthen us where we are weak and build us up where we've been broken and torn by life. God bless now this assembly. Grant wisdom upon them and give them clear sense of direction as they deliberate and do those things which they have been called to do. Bless them and every person that's associated with them. Give them divine protection, long life, and good health. In the name of Jesus, we ask this. Amen. To the flag of the States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, with liberty and justice for all. Amen.
Thank you very much, Reverend Bell, for that thoughtful prayer. Thank you. At this time, Mr. Clerk, if you'll call the roll.
Councilmember Gunn.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Councilmember O'Quinn. Good morning. Councilmember Smith.
Good morning.
Good morning, Councilmember Smitherman. Good morning, Councilmember Vossa. Good morning, Councilmember Williams. Councilmember Woods. Good morning, Council President Pro Tem Tate. Good morning. Council President Alexander.
Good morning, President. At this time, councilors, the minutes are not ready from the meetings of January 6, 2026 through February 10th, 2026. At this time, we'll have communications from the mayor. Good morning, Mayor Whitford.
Good morning, Madam President. Good morning to the entire council. Good to see you all. Just have two notes. As a community, I want us to pause to recall the lives of two great men. One, a man known globally as a civil rights leader and icon. The other, best known locally, but very much a business titan. That titan is George Barber. He was a Birmingham businessman and entrepreneur. In business, he was a real estate developer and chairman of Barber Dairies. But his passion also made him a visionary. His love of motorsports, restoring cars, and preserving motorcycles led to the establishment of the world-renowned Barber Motorsports Park. It boasts the world's largest motorcycle collection, and the track is home to the Indy Grand Prix of Alabama each spring. And my favorite part about that space is a map when you walk in, and it shows, there's two maps actually. It shows people who come from all over our country, and the other shows people who come from all over the globe. And this is literally a very, very much an international destination. People have come from all over the world to see this museum and park. And he personally invested in this lasting legacy. And as the Barber Motorsports Museum stated this morning, he built more than an organization. He built a community. We want to thank him for his life. We want to thank him for his work and his commitment to the city of Birmingham. George Barber was 85 years old. When Reverend Jesse Jackson visited Birmingham last March, his family took him to the A.G. Gaston Motel and Museum. surrounded by family, friends, and admirers in such a historic site. Reverend Jackson said he had freedom on his mind that day. Freedom and hope are two words that define Reverend Jesse Jackson's life. He didn't just speak about justice, he organized it. He didn't imagine coalitions, he built them. And most importantly, he taught us that we are somebody. We remember him for his work and as a young man at the side of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We honor him for his impact as a groundbreaking presidential candidate in the 1980s. And each of us can recall that powerful moment as tears flowed down his face as he celebrated in Chicago on the night of the election of Barack Obama in 2008. He was a good friend to the people of Birmingham and visited often over the years in his constant fight for justice and equality. Now more than ever, I think it's imperative that we keep hope alive. Thank you, Reverend Jackson, for your legacy. Take your rest, and we'll carry your flame for freedom. Madam President and Council, that concludes the mayor's report.
Thank you, Mayor Woodfin. I think we all join you in the observation of the passing of those two great gentlemen and the impact they had on Birmingham and the world. So
Yes, ma'am.
thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, councilors, at this time, Mr. Clerk, I don't see any nominations for boards and agencies, correct? All right, I'll go ahead and read the business for consideration of the consent agenda. All items designated as consent are considered to be routine and non-controversial and will be approved by one motion. No separate discussion of these items will be permitted unless a council member, the mayor, or citizen interested in a public hearing so requests. If so, such items will revert to its normal place on the agenda order of business. All matters of permanent operation, they're indicated with a capital P, will be read. All other matters will be announced by reading the item number only. All public hearings will be announced. Mr. Clerk, will you please read the items that are being considered for consent?
Okay, consent agenda starts on page 2 with items 3 and 4. Page 4, item 5 is on consent. Page 7, item 6 is on consent. Page 8, item 7 is on consent. Page 12, item 8 is on consent. Page 21, items 9 and 10 are on consent. Page 29, items 11 and 13 are on consent. Page 30, we have items 14 and 16 designated as consent items. Page 31, items 17, 18, and 19 are on consent. And we conclude with items 20 and 21. We have 2 addendum items as well.
Thank you so much. Councilors, are there any items you'd like to add or remove from consent? Councilor Smith?
Item 24.
All right, and would you like to have this withdrawn for consideration today?
Yes.
Okay.
I
all right.
object.
Item 24 is withdrawn.
Oh, it's withdrawn. Okay.
Yes. All right. Yes. Councilors, I'd like to ask if we could add item 23 to consent. I believe it was, Councilor Woods, was this one on our budget and finance? It was not. Okay, would you like for us to go ahead and keep that on? I thought it was. We can leave it on? Okay, councilors, I'd like to ask that we add that item to consent. That's item number 23. All right? Yes, Councilor Williams. Okay, item 16. Thank you. Item 16 on page 30 has been asked to be removed from consent. Any other items? All right, at this time, we'll entertain a motion and a second for approval of the consent agenda.
I move for approval.
Aye. Okay, I'm sorry. Thought you were asking for mine to come up.
Okay, Councilman Smith?
Aye. Me
All right.
too.
And Pro Tem Tate, you said yes, right? Yes. That vote should be up, Madam President.
Thank you so much. The items that were considered for consent have been approved. If you're here for any item that was listed as consent, along with the item that we added, number 23 from addendum, all those items have been consented and they are approved. At this time, we'll take up the rest of our agenda. Mr. Clerk, thank you.
Item one. Item one. A resolution relative to the application of Happy Hour Hangout 2 LLC for a lounge retail liquor class 1 license to be used at Happy Hour Hangout 2, 2417 Avenue C, Birmingham, Alabama 35218, in the hearing of all interested parties. Motion, please.
All right, thank you. At this time, we're considering a resolution relative to the application of the Happy Hour Hangout 2 LLC for a lounge retail liquor license, Class 1. At this time, I'll turn the public hearing over to our Public Safety Chair, Councilor Pro Tem Tate.
Thank you, Madam President. Is the applicant here? Is the applicant here for the happy hour hangout? Yes. Come to the podium, state your name and address for the record, please. Colleagues, the information is in your packet. Thank you. State your name and address for the record, please.
Roderick Lee, 2417 Avenue C, Birmingham, Alabama, 35218.
Okay. Who's the gentleman, the other gentleman with you?
Daryl Daniels.
Speak to them, get in the mic for me, please, and just state your name and address.
Daryl Daniels.
Okay, what's your address, sir?
2417 Avenue C, Ensley.
Okay, all right, colleagues, before us, we have an application for the happy hour hangout. They're applying for a lounge and retail liquor class 1. They presented to the Ensley neighborhood on 9/18/25. 19 were in attendance, 8 opposed, and 11 supported the effort. So I want to hear from the applicant, tell this body what is the happy hour hangout, your hours of operation, the days that you will be open, and we want to hear about your public safety plan.
Good morning. I'm Attorney Robinson here on behalf of the two gentlemen, Mr. Daniels and Mr. Lee. We're here on the application of the Happy Hour 2. And they've actually had background checks done. They're fine. They have no fines, no tickets, anything on record, because this is something that they had done prior to now, and we did meet with legal, and they decided to reapply. So this is a totally new application. The fire has been approved, the parking, they have 10 spots, but they also have the adjacent parking when the other businesses surrounding are closed. The background on both are done. They have a safety plan that has already been okayed. The only thing they're waiting for now is to be approved so that they can provide a sink in the facility. They have cameras on the outside that are already loaded with Birmingham. And the hours will be Tuesdays, 7 to 12, Friday, 8 to 2, and Saturdays, 8 to 2. According to the information that we have, they've met all of the, everything that should be done opposed, except the situation of the sink. And they're waiting for, in contact with the health department, and they're waiting to have this approved so they can move forward on that.
Okay. Does any colleagues have questions for the Ms. Attorney Robertson? Can we at least hear from the applicant to speak on, their behalf as well, to talk to this body about, the happy hour hangout? What is the happy hour hangout?
Happy Hour Hangout is a little small hangout spot for people that are 30 and older. We're not doing nothing for anyone under 30. If they're 28, 29, they will not be able to come in. It's just a safe place for people to hang out, chill. Like I said, we met with the neighborhood association. We told them we still will be attending the neighborhood association meeting, and anything they need or, that we can help provide, we will. We already downloaded our cameras to the Birmingham website that they told us to. We already did that, and I turned it in to Fikes and let him know that we already done that,
Okay.
Officer Fikes.
Does any council members have questions for the applicant?
I have a question for the administration.
Okay, the administration, okay.
Yeah, what was our history with, and, I mean, I know we've had happy hour before. What was the do we have anyone from Attorney's Office that talk about the history of the location? We've had, you know, I know we had a vice raid and they were operating as a charity but selling alcohol. I'm trying to remember what exactly.
We would need to have business compliance come and update us on that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's pertinent to this conversation.
Thank you, Attorney King.
And they will be checking ID when people enter.
So do we have someone from business? Are we getting them in?
Someone from business compliance.
Yes.
Okay, Mayor, and what about somebody from Texas and license as well?
Make sure you say that.
Thank you, Mayor.
Working at it as well, Madam Chairwoman.
Okay.
Do we need to table this one for a few minutes? Hold on one second. All right, at this time, if we could entertain a motion to table, and then to allow the representatives from administration.
Second.
I do see we have one, but we don't have the business. You're gonna do business, Mike? Okay, we're ready. You got the police.
Okay.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
At this time, we're not gonna go ahead
Oh,
and table.
sorry.
We have all the parties here. That's okay. I'll let you continue. That was
Thank you,
fast.
Madam President. Yes, Officer Fikes. I think Council Williams had a question for you, and he can repeat it.
Yeah, thanks, Detective. I think what we're really what kind of asking what the history was with Happy Hour Hangout. I know that we've heard this item, this has come before either the Council or Public Safety, I can't remember before, but there was an issue where Vice, Business Compliance conducted a raid because they were operating as a nonprofit and not a actual bar, and then a license was surrendered with my memory, and I was trying to get clarification of what actually happened.
Yes, it was a nonprofit that was operating as a bar, and we conducted an operation. So we seized about 100 cans of beer and several bottles of alcohol.
Okay, and then to your recollection, was it the same two gentlemen that were, is this the same application, same guys applying?
Yes.
For it? Okay, that's all I had.
Thank you. Any more questions for the applicant? We're waiting on, what, business compliance? Chief Mitchell. Chief. Chief, do they have any outstanding revenue that they owe from the,
So this is a new applicant, so they don't have any outstanding taxes, but from the old establishment, they do still have some outstanding financial obligations that need to be cured before we can release anything on a new business.
I see Ms. Brown just walked in. Thank you, Chief. Any questions from other colleagues? Anyone here from the public here to speak for or against this item? Seeing none, I'm turning it back over to you, Madam President.
All right, thank you very much. Councilors, at this time, we've entertained a motion and a second, and we're now ready to entertain your vote, if there are no other questions.
Councilor Smith. Councilmember Vasa. All right, that vote should be up, Madam President.
All right, thank you very much. At this time, this item fails. Next item.
Thank you,
Item
Madam
2.
President.
Item 2,
The item failed, thank you.
a resolution relative to the application of Black Hole Hookah Bar and Lounge LLC for a lounge retail liquor class 1 license to be used at the Black Hole Hookah Bar and Lounge, 137 6th Avenue Southwest, Suite D, Birmingham, Alabama, 35211, in the hearing of all interested parties. Motion, please.
Second.
All right, at this time, councilors, we're entertaining a resolution relative to the application of the Black Hole Hookah Bar and Lounge for a lounge retail liquor license, Class 1. At this time, we'll have a motion and a second. Did you do that already?
yes.
Sorry. All right, I'll turn it back over to,
Thank you, Madam President. Is
Madam
the
Pro Tem.
applicant here? Come to the podium and please state your name and address for the record, please.
Rodney James, 137 6th Avenue Southwest, Birmingham, 35211.
Okay. Councilors, we have before us, Mr. James, he presented, as Madam President said, an application for a lounge and retail liquor license. He presented to the South Titusville neighborhood on January the 13th, 2026. 13 were in attendance, 2 opposed, 6 supported, 1 no recommendation. Some people were opposed to possible crowd and disturbances. So, Mr. James, could you tell the body about your venture with this Black Hole Hookah Bar? Need to know your hours of operation, what days you're gonna be open, and your public safety plan.
Hours of operation, I kind of revised. I don't know if you all got that revised plan. I sent it in, I don't know, but I did change some things on it. The operating hours would be from Friday, 9 p.m. to 12, Friday and Saturday. 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. Saturday, Friday and Saturday. Sundays will be from 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. That's the plan, but it's a hookah bar and lounge. I plan to do 28 and older. My security plans will be to work in concert with Birmingham Police Department in Jefferson County. I did speak with Mr. Langford and Campbell last week about doing the Birmingham Connect program to give access to my cameras and whatever you all need to do to make sure that I'm in compliance with whatever you all require. Safety, I will be using BPD or Jefferson County. Again, I have spoke with Deputy Lance with Jefferson County. He has a connect with Allegheny. I will be using them, which is mainly consists of off-duty officers. So that's the plan, to utilize them as far as my security, inside and outside. I do plan to have 2 officers present at the entrance. I do plan to have the metal one and a walk-through metal detector inserted on the inside of entrance. So whatever I got to do, again, to make sure the security of the patrons is all right and they're safe and that the community is all right, that's what I'm going to do. So.
Okay. Does any counselors have any questions for the applicant?
Madam Chair, I have more of a statement because I asked the questions I need to at your
Okay.
public safety meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
Once again, as I stated, it's nothing against you personally as a young business owner. I just don't think the location is appropriate. Literally in that shopping plaza, this is it, and this is somebody's house. This is another house, another house, another house, another house. I'm very familiar with it because my parents' old campaign office used to be in the plaza. I do recall asking if you knew about an incident a couple of years ago or last year where the braiding shop was actually shot up. And I don't think it's appropriate for that reason. We have A for One that's across the street where we have high schoolers, middle schoolers, training. I just think the character of the plaza just doesn't need a hookah lounge, and it's in the neighborhood too. So I can't support this. And I actually got an email from a constituent who was at the neighborhood meeting, and they were confused, Madam Chair. I can forward it to you. They thought it was just for the location, not for the liquor license as well. And she expressed to me her concerns about the noise and the crime of having this type of lounge. And I know the neighborhood voted for it, but You know, sometimes I think, because I'm gonna be quite honest, sometimes the low attendance neighborhood meetings don't reflect the hundreds of people that live there. And also because I grew up in that neighborhood, I know those people. We still have a house there. I just know they would not want a hookah lounge right there in their neighborhood. So respectfully, I just can't vote for this. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions from committee council members? Any other questions you would like to ask the applicant?
Yes, I would like just to revisit, as we look at this particular item, I do want to thank Councilor Smitherman for just giving us more information about the narrative of the neighborhood and the location. Because one question was going to be, I did see it noted on the neighborhood voting form that people were opposed to possible crowd and distribution, so, or disturbance. So did you have anything in a safety plan or anything, or business plan that would have minimized that?
Yes, ma'am. The occupancy load is like 8 or 9, something like that. But I don't plan to attract that many people. I want it to be more of a lounge type feeling, so it may allow me to be able to manage the crowd a lot better. My finance would allow me, I won't maybe not need that many security personnel. I don't know yet. But as far as the parking lots, I do plan to have officers stationed. It's in my security plan that I will have officers stationed across the street to make sure that once someone leaves my business, they leave. There will be no hanging out. There's no soliciting, no sitting around in the parking lot lollygagging. Once you patronize my business, you come, you leave. I will have officers stationed on each end of the building. The parking space is adequate enough to hold the type of people that I plan on attracting. I do have an idea of the type of people that I want to attract. I do plan on putting in some type of plan as far as not a private club, but a members-only club that will I reserve the rights to say, hey, you can come in, you can't. Again, I want to attract the right type of people. I understand that there's a lot going on in that area. I want to contribute to that, coming back as far as helping develop that area. I do know the history of the area. I did some research, found, okay, cool, this is a good idea. Let me see, can I help? Bring back and what changed the idea of that particular area there. As far as the location, I researched it is zoned for this type of business. So that was my thing. That was the reason I chose to push forward for it. As far as the immediate property around, I did go out myself. I took pictures of that property. I submitted it. I don't know if you all got it. But if you Google my address, it shows the far end of the building that has nothing to do with my business. That's on the far end and it's close to an apartment. My unit will be on the front side, main intersection. It's a business district right there again. And that is my property. But again, if you Google that address, it'll show you something that has nothing to do with me. I am aware of what Councilman Smitherman said about the incident next door to me. I don't condone that. I come from a troubled past myself. I understand. I'm standing before you today as a person that's reformed. And I know what it takes. I was one of those kids in the community, and with me being able to move forward, be here today before you all, I hope with me being able to establish this, do it the right way, work in concert with Birmingham, work in concert with the police department, whatever I need to do, maybe I can be a light, or maybe I can reach back to some other kids and say, hey, look, you can do it too. But that's my plan. I don't mean to cause any confusion within the community. I strictly hope to come and bring business to that community and do it the right way in accordance with what you all expect and in concert with Birmingham.
Okay, thank you. Councilor Smitherman, if you remind me again, this establishment, is this near the training facility that we
Yes.
have? Is that built up?
Yes, so if you're at the light, A for one, and build up, the tool bank, the event center is right here. If you look this way, this is the gas station. If you kind of look kind of behind you to the left, that's the shopping plaza. And then kind of more like this way, that's the Boston Seafood Restaurant.
Thank you. Just to help, to remind me of the conditions where we support or deny this type of a license, Attorney King, would you read us those criteria?
Right. If you all recall 2816 of the Alabama State Code, there are several grounds, and the first would be the creation of a nuisance. The second, circumstances clearly detrimental to or which would adversely affect the public health, safety, and welfare of the adjacent residential neighborhoods. 3, a violation of applicable zoning restrictions. 4, an individual applying for the license has a prior conviction involving the use of alcohol or a controlled substance. 5, the proximity of the business to a school or child care facility and the business hours of operation will create a harmful environment for the children. 6, traffic congestion created by licensing. The proposed location will endanger others. And 7 is any other reason that poses a risk.
Thank you. Those are my questions, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any other councilors have questions for the applicant?
Madam Chair, I do have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
It was mentioned at public safety meeting about the ventilation system. Something was going on with that. Was that ever resolved?
No, again, it's dealing with the hookahs. So it requires that you have proper ventilation, all right? The building does not have ventilation, but it's not my building. So I want to work with the fire marshal. He did come out, he looked at the building, he gave me a few things that need to be corrected. All right, when I get back with him, I want to check with him to see, okay, I have an alternative. 40 square feet is 1,500 square feet. It's probably just about big as this area you all sitting at. 1,500 square feet, they have what you call smoke eaters or ventilators that I can buy for $2,200 to $2,500. If he will allow me to use that, I plan to install that. Again, he would say, okay, my occupancy load is 89. If you can buy this smoke eater and it's suitable for 89 people, that's what I plan to do. That's what I will do. I will not function or operate without having proper ventilation. If my finances allow me to do that, again, if my finances do not allow me to do that, then I plan to come back before you all. I can drop the hookahs. I can say, look, I can't afford this. If the owner of the property doesn't want to work with me hand in hand to help me get this building up to par where it needs to be, so we can function under code again, then I would have to drop the hookah and just come back before y'all in hopes of receiving a liquor license. But again, I would not operate without being in compliance with whatever y'all need me to do. So.
All right, thank you.
All right, any other questions? Seeing none, Madam President, turn it back to you. Over to you. Is anybody here from the public to speak for or against this item? Anybody from the public? Seeing none, back in your hands, Madam President.
Thank you, Madam Pro Tem. At this time, councilors, we're ready to take the vote. There are no other questions. All right, thank you. This item fails. Thank you.
All right, can I request, for the record, can council please state the specific legal grounds and ordinance provisions supporting the denial, the code section, factual findings? 2, will the council provide written findings of facts and conclusion of all supporting this decision, written denial, specific reason? 3, was the decision based solely on evidence presented in the record at the hearing? 4, for the record, what is the proper procedure and timeline to appeal this decision? And 5, for the record, I object to any.
Madam Chair, we're not in court.
Sir, if you don't mind,
Okay.
at this time, I'd like to ask you that we have made our decision.
Okay.
You can send this information to administration. Thank
Right.
you for your time.
That would
Thank
tell me
you.
how to appeal the process?
No, sir, you're going to have to put that in writing. This is,
Okay.
we're not an appeal board.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President.
All right, Mr. Clerk, that item did fail, so we'll go to the next item.
Item 15, page 30. I'm sorry, 12. Going a little too fast. Item 12. A resolution assenting to the vacation of 24,658 square feet of the right-of-way that is located parallel to and between 34th Place North and 33rd Street North and perpendicular to and between 35th Avenue North and Pearl Avenue, so that the owner can consolidate property located at 33, 33, 35th Avenue North, Birmingham, on behalf of Riverbrook Realty owners, and the hearing of ownership parties, case number SUB 25-64. Motion, please.
All right, thank you, councilors. We have in front of us a resolution assenting the vacation of a property. I'll turn this public hearing over to Councilor Gunn, Chair of Community Development Committee. Councilor Gunn.
Thank you, Madam President. Staff report.
Good
Good morning. My name is Roger Glow, and I serve as the subdivision planner for the city of Birmingham. And this is subdivision case 2025, case number 64, which is a resolution to determine whether the city council will give its assent to the vacation of 24,658 square feet of right-of-way so that the property owner can consolidate his property. The one-third right-of-way vacation fee has been set at $36,987.40. On August 13th, 2025, the subdivision committee of the Birmingham Planning Commission recommended the approval of this case to the full council. On December the 15th, 2025, the Community Development Committee forwarded this vacation to the full council with a favorable recommendation. If you have any questions, we do have representation here.
All right, thank you for that report. Any questions for staff from my colleagues? Councilor Williams?
What are y'all what are y'all doing? Why are y'all requesting this?
Why, what are we doing?
Yeah.
It was just a.
Could you state your name and address for the record?
Kevin Misso, with Riverbrook Realty. This is Van right here, it's my dad. You know, we're just working on trying to, invest in North Birmingham. We got a few properties in Norwood area. The building sat empty for a long time after Berry Foundry went out of business. We're just trying to reactivate the building. Right now, we bought it with a flawed title. So essentially, without this resolution, we don't have a marketable building to ever sell. It'd just be ours, I guess, indefinitely, to lease. But it would, again, it's just to kind of reactivate the building, generate some revenue for the city, and get a business back in there.
Okay. Does that answer your question?
Ish, yeah, good enough.
Any additional questions from my colleagues?
So
Pro Tem?
it's empty now, correct? It's empty now? The building
It's
is empty?
empty.
Okay, because you're gonna create, are there gonna be some type of job creations or something? gonna be doing there?
Several.
Okay. Can you talk to us about that?
Ma'am?
I said, can you talk to us about, the job creation?
Well, I think the long-term plan right now, would be to lease the building.
Okay.
And, it would create a few jobs. We have a couple of LOIs with some larger companies, that, I think employ maybe 30 or 40 people that are looking to move into the building if it all works out.
So there is an immediate plan for capital?
There is an immediate plan. Yeah.
Thank you, Chairman Gunn. Thank you, appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any additional questions? All right, so this is a public hearing. Is there anyone in the public or in the audience that wishes to speak to this item? Seeing none, I will hand it back over to you, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilor Gunn. Councilors, if there are no other questions, we'll turn this to a vote. We ready for the vote? Thank you.
How would you like to vote, Madam President? All right, that vote should be up.
All right, thank you. That item passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item.
Should be 15. Did we do 15? Yeah, 15.
Yes, sir.
An ordinance pursuant to section 41-9-590, Code of Alabama Act number 1969-916, authorizing the chief of police to execute a contract vendor CGI access security agreement for a term of up to 3 years between the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency and Alabama Power Company and the city of Birmingham, wherein the chief of police will verify the Alabama Power Company has a separate specific agreement with the city of Birmingham for the Birmingham Police Department to provide specific CGI sharing services and/or products for the administration of justice. This agreement involves no cost to the city. This is not a permanent operation. In order to pass it today, I need UC.
So moved.
Councilmember Gunn. Councilmember O'Quinn. Councilmember Smith. Councilmember Smitherman. Councilmember Vasa. Councilmember Williams. Councilmember Woods. Council Pro Tem Tate. Council President Alexander.
Aye.
Motion on the item, please. item is before you.
All right, councilors, this is an ordinance to enter into a security agreement for the term of up to 3 years between the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency, ALEA, and Alabama Power and the city of Birmingham. Any questions regarding to this item, Councilor Quinn?
Yeah, I would just like to hear like a layman's summary of what's going on here. You know, I see the ordinance, but at least in the accompanying documents that we have, there's not a agreement that spells out the terms of this arrangement. So can you summarize for us what's happening here?
Sure. Counselor, this is just a verification by the police chief that we have an existing agreement with Alabama Power to supply licensed reader cameras, which gives them access to the Alabama Criminal Justice Information System, and that we're holding them into compliance with the rules and regulations that govern that information. So we're a party to the agreement as a result of the verification by the police chief.
Okay, trying to understand, so the concern is that, you know, and this has come up recently, the underlying concern is about who has access to our data, specifically LPR data. And I'm trying to understand how this impacts. So let me just start with this.
Council, it's my recommendation that we go into executive session under 3625A 7A4 to discuss security plans and measures.
So moved.
Second.
All right, councilors, we have a, go ahead, try to do your job.
Yes.
Councilmember Quinn. Councilmember Schmidt.
Yes.
Councilmember Strickland. Councilmember Bosco. Councilmember Williams.
Let's just go. He said yes.
Councilmember Tate. Council President
Aye.
Alexander.
All right, councilors, we will go into executive session for about 15 minutes, and we'll return hopefully within 15 minutes. Thank you. All right, councilors, at this time, we return from executive session. Mr. Clerk, if we could call the roll, we'll go back into session.
Gunn. Councilman, here. Councilmember O'Quinn. Here. We're just calling roll. Councilmember Smith. Yes. Councilmember Smitherman. Here. Councilmember Vasa. Here. Councilmember Williams. Here. Councilmember Woods. Here. President Pro Tem Tate. Here. Council President Alexander.
All right, thank you. Let it be noted that we have returned from executive session. We did not make any votes on this particular item, but we did have a discussion relative to the question that was answered. At this time, councilors, we did have a motion and a second on the floor for this item. Are there any additional questions? At this time, we're ready for the vote.
Council Member O'Quinn, Smitherman. Vasa.
Mine not up either. I'll vote aye.
Okay. Councilmember Vasa and Williams. Aye. All right, I got you. That vote should be up.
All right, thank you. Item 15 passes. Next item.
I think we're going to 16. Item 16, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute various agreements with various vendors for the cost of registration and expenses for the neighborhood officers, neighborhood association committee members, or neighborhood volunteers to attend one of three conferences, including either the 2026 Neighborhoods USA Virtual Conference, May the 28th, 2026 to May the 29th, 2026, with expenses only, including registration, and an amount not to exceed $125 per attendee, and not to exceed one attendee per community, or an alternate, the 2026 Main Street Now Conference in Tulsa, Oklahoma, from April the 13th, 2026 to April the 15th, 2026, with expenses including registration and an amount not to exceed $2,500 per attendee, and not to exceed one attendee per neighborhood, or in the alternate, the Reclaiming Vacant Properties Conference in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, from September the 22nd, 2026 to September the 25th, 2026, with expenses including registration and an amount not to exceed $2,500 per attendee, and not to exceed one attendee per community. Registration shall also include up to 10 community resource service staff members for each conference attended. Attendees representing neighborhood associations or communities cannot attend more than one conference in a calendar year. These events will serve to educate and train the neighborhood volunteers and CRRs on a vision of communities and provide information that will benefit those seeking resources for the community and economic development within the city of Birmingham, Alabama. Said funds to come from the respective neighborhood association funds. Motion, please.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Councilors, this item was a resolution that was authorizing the mayor to execute various agreements for attendance at NUSA, Main Street Now Conference, and the Reclaiming Vacant Properties Conference. Councilor Williams, you asked us to move this off consent.
Yeah, I wanted to know if we had a total estimated spend for all this travel.
That is a question that does not have an answer yet because majority of neighborhoods haven't done travel yet, so, or requests for travel, so we do not actually have a detailed number for you and or an amount. We will, but that information does not exist today. Per person though, and this should be on your note under item 16, per person should not exceed more than $2,500. But the exact amount total related to per person, total number of people, and how much that total is, we do not know yet until everyone goes through the process. Hope I answered your question, sir.
Okay. In the past, we had a not to exceed amount for the last 8 years, we've had a not to exceed amount, which is why I was asking.
Well, it does say per attendance, but I see what you're saying, because
Every
it
year
could
we
be
voted,
open.
yeah, that could be $1 million, it could be $10,000. But anyway, that's, every year we've had a not to exceed amount. Do what now?
$2,500 for Main Street one, and I
But
think
that's
it's,
per attendee, that's not, we've had a total per, not to exceed amount. Anyway, that, you know, anyway.
because I think we could,
I'm good. You know, I've historically not supported this in the past because I think that we, instead of, especially after some of the reports and lack of reports I've seen and heard, you know, I think that, you know, there's ways to travel efficiently and there's ways not to. But anyway, we're good for the vote.
any other questions regarding this item? All right, we're ready for the vote.
Councilmember Williams, President Alexander.
No.
Aye.
That vote should be up.
All right, that item passes. Next item.
Should be item 22. A resolution setting a public hearing March 24, 2026 to consider the adoption of a resolution assenting to the vacation of 35,493 square feet of the right-of-way that is located parallel to and between Argyle Road and, I can't read, I can't see that, Smolden Place, so that the owner can consolidate property located at 2845 Stratford Road, Birmingham. On behalf of McWayne Incorporated, owner case number SUB 25-97. Motion, please.
All right, councilors, this is setting a public hearing on March 24th for vacation of property. If there are no questions, we'll take the vote. Are there any questions? We'll take the vote.
Councilmember O'Quinn, Councilmember Smith.
I'm an aye. I don't know why.
I kind of probably reset it, and he's absent. All right, that vote should be up.
All right, thank you. Item 22 passes. We've set that hearing for March 24th. Councilors, I believe there is a request to go back and retake up an item.
Yes, I'd like to
Councilor Smith?
reintroduce item number 24.
Need a second?
Yes, that was an item on the addendum. The request has been to take this item back up.
Second.
And we need a second. There's a motion. Is there a second? Aye.
Okay. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
All right. If you'll read that item,
Okay.
Mr. Clerk.
Item 24 was addendum item, a resolution appointing 3 members to the Birmingham Parks and Recreation Board, one term expiring October the 8th, 2026, one term expiring October the 8th, 2028, and one term expiring October the 8th, 2029.
Thank you. Councilor Smith, if you'll read those applicants.
Yes, so I'd like to revise this item
Yes.
and remove one of the applicants.
All right, so you're only appointing 2
Correct.
members at this time?
Yes.
And do we have the names before us of the 2 that you'll be able to read those off, who we're replacing?
The 2 names are Michael Moore, who will be having a term expiring October 8th, 2029, and then Bruce Hooper, who will serve the term expiring October 8th, 2028.
Okay. And that will leave one other
That will leave-
vacant that you'll bring back to us
Right.
later. And that's, yes, and who are they replacing?
So Michael Moore is replacing Patrick Talley, and Bruce Hooper is replacing Scotty McLean.
Okay, Counselor, so you've had the 2 names read, Michael Moore and, I'm sorry,
Bruce Hooper.
give me his name again, I have it in front of me, Bruce Cooper.
Bruce Hooper.
And they're replacing Patrick Talley and Scotty McLean. Any questions?
Did the committee as a whole vote on these 3 names or no?
No, I'm presenting this as committee chair.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other questions? All right, at this time, we're ready for the vote.
Got a motion for those names, to approve the names.
And you'll make a motion, Counselor, to approve those names.
So I move that we approve Michael Moore, and Bruce Hooper.
Okay, voting should be open. Councilmember Smitherman, Williams. And Woods, out, absent. All right, that vote should be up, Madam.
All right, thank you. We welcome these new members to the Park and Rec Board, and we thank you, Councilor Smith, for the work that you and your committee did to bring these names forward. Thank you. All right, next item. So that item is approved with the changes.
I think that's it.
I think that's it. All right, councilors, at this time, we'll entertain your updates from your districts. And Councilor Gunn, are you ready? We'll start with you.
Thank you, Madam President. So for this week, we have a few neighborhood association meetings. Tonight, we have the South Woodlawn Neighborhood Association meeting at 6 p.m. at the Woodlawn Public Library. We also have the Pine Knoll Vista Neighborhood Association coming up Thursday at 6:30 p.m. via teleconference, and then the Kingston, which will be the fourth Monday of this month at 6 p.m. at the Royal Event Center. Over this past week, we had a few events in District 4, and so I want to give a special shout out to Cool Green Trees and Birmingham Legion FC for the amazing tree planting that they had over at Hudson K-8 last week. The Dig 4 team was out there, planting the trees with the organization, and we really appreciate them for doing the work that they do in the North Birmingham community and across the city. Next up, we want to have a reminder that the District 4 office will be hosting a mobile office hours at the Brownsville Heights Community Center on March 3rd from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. And we want to make sure that we use this as an opportunity to go out and meet residents where they are, and so they don't have to make the trip all the way over to City Hall. So we want to give them a chance to ask me and my team any questions that they may have and any concerns that they may have for their neighborhood. So we'll be taking the show on the road, so look forward to that. Upcoming committee meetings, the Community Development Committee will meet on Monday, March 2nd at 3:30 p.m. in the City Council chambers. Agenda items are due to Carmen Mays by close of business on Monday, February the 23rd. And lastly, I want to recognize Madam President from Inglenook, Pastor Webb, and Ms. Joyce, also out here hanging out with us and learning how government works and seeing how government works in action. So thank you all so much for coming out. All right. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you so much. Councilor Quinn.
Thank you, Madam President. District 5, we have the Central City Neighborhood Association meeting tonight at 6 p.m. Southside Neighborhood Association will meet on Thursday night at 6 p.m. at the Birmingham Police Department South Precinct. North Avondale Neighborhood Association also meets on Thursday at 6 p.m. at the MLK Rec Center. There's an upcoming Transportation and Infrastructure Committee on February 23rd at 2 p.m. here in the council chambers. Please contact my office if you have agenda submissions. Want to let everyone know that we have a vacancy on the Birmingham Planning Commission. Applicants can send their resume to either my office or Councilor Voss's office, but those need to be in by Friday, February 27th. And want to remind folks that District 5 will host our annual District 5 planning meeting that we call Fifth and Feast. That's Saturday, February 28th at the Jones Valley Teaching Farm. And doors will open at 9:30 and we'll start the meeting at 10 a.m. Please contact our office at 254-2679 for more information. Also want to let you know about several events coming up at the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute. First up, they have a panel discussion called A Night with Legacy that's building on lasting legacies in our community, and that's happening February 17th from 5:30 to 7. There's a event called Mapping Black Migration. It's a panel discussion examining the historical and contemporary movements of Black Americans. That's happening February 26th. And the next event is called What's Really Happening Inside Your Phone. It's a hands-on workshop for middle schoolers exploring the usage of cell phones with tips for cell phone safety and responsible use in today's digital world. Yeah. So this is at BCRI on Saturday, February 28th from 12 to 2. And again, this is specifically for middle schoolers, helping them stay safe on their cell phones. And then finally, Jones Valley Teaching Farm has opened registration for their Camp Grow. Camps are for youth rising to second grade through eighth grade. And the additional information can be found on jbtf.org, and that concludes my announcements.
Thank you, Dr. O'Quinn. Councilor Vasa?
Thank you, Madam President. We had a wonderful tree planting on Saturday at Avondale Park. Friends of Avondale Park and several other organizations were involved. It was lovely to see neighbors. I think we had about 50 volunteers come out, planted about 35 trees. It looked beautiful, and so a lot of that was also native plants as well. So very thankful for that. Last Thursday, we saw the opening night of Rent at Virginia's Amphitheater. Also a wonderful show. Tickets are still available and until Sunday, February 22. So there's still some time to see that. Tonight, we have 5 Points Neighborhood Association meeting, 6 p.m. at Highlands United Methodist. And then, of course, we want to lift up the remembrance of the life and legacy of Reverend Jesse Jackson. So just wanted to sort of say that aloud. And then finally, residents of District 3, that we have originally had the STR ordinance for discussion at Committee of the Whole tomorrow that has been pushed to a special call date in March, and details of that will be sent out shortly. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Councilor Smitherman?
Thank you, Madam President. As far as neighborhood meetings, 5 Points South will meet tonight at 6 p.m. in the South Hall of Highland United Methodist Church. Then Woodland Park neighborhood will meet this Monday at Woodland Park Church of Christ at 6 p.m. Also, I invite you all individually, but this Friday will be our 5th year of You Speak, a celebration of Black history. That will be this Friday at noon at Red Mountain Theater. Join us for an inspiring celebration featuring Birmingham City Schools and Jefferson County Schools, showcasing their talents. We have schools ranging from, but not excluded, Hemp Hill, Carver, Parker, J.O., Glen Iris, Jefferson County Academy of Theater Dance, Ramsey High School, and much more, and we'll have a special treat at the end of the program. Also, St. Mark CME Church, Titusfield, located at 316 Iota Avenue South, will be hosting a free Black History concert this Saturday at from 5 to 7. Doors open at 4 p.m. Then I had the pleasure, you all, this past Sunday to go to a citywide metro performance of our kids. All the Birmingham City Schools performed and Hoover performed. Very beautiful, very beautiful. And then they did a massive, all the choirs were singing, and it was really, really special to hear our kids and just the talent they have musically. And that was at 16th Street Baptist Church this past Sunday. Also, I went to, kind of like what Councilor Boston did, but I went to see The Wiz at Red Mountain Theater. It was amazing, very modern day. I believe it was an all-black cast, which was pretty amazing, but it was really good. It was sold out. So that's at Red Mountain Theater until March 1st. And then just remembering Reverend Jesse Jackson, I had the pleasure of seeing him, I think the very last time he came to Birmingham, which was last spring. And you know, I've heard him speak before, especially growing up, going down to Selma to march over the bridge and going to the church ceremony. I just want to, you know, I'm very thankful of just his courage, his strength, and his leadership during the civil rights movement and continuing to fight for our rights, even past the civil rights movement. So we honor his legacy and remember him, and we thank him for all that he's done. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you so much. Councilor Williams?
Thank you. Economic Development Tourism will meet today at 11:30 right here in the chambers, Brown Springs neighborhood. We'll have their conference call February the 19th at 6 o'clock. South Eastlake will be meeting Monday the 23rd at 6 o'clock at their regular place. Eastlake United Methodist Church and Crestwood South will also be meeting the same day and at 6:30 at the Jewish Community Center. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Counselor Smith?
Yes, thank you. So first, I'd like to extend congratulations to members of the James Lewis Tennis Association at the Ansley Rec Center for their outstanding achievements within the Alabama Tennis Foundation's annual meeting and award ceremony. This marked a significant milestone for Black Americans and Alabama in the realm of tennis. Cheryl Lockhart received the Tournament of the Year award for the Magic City Tennis Tournament. Donald Smith was also awarded the Hubert Kessler Inspiration Cup Award. Rudy Lewis was awarded the Umpire of the Year Award, and Dayton Agee, one of our young tennis athletes, was a National Junior Tennis League National Essay winner, as well as James Giles receiving the Elaine Francis Junior Excellence Award. So congratulations to those individuals. We also have the following meetings that are coming up soon. Tomorrow, the Park and Rec Board will meet at 9 a.m. at Legion Field. The Park and Rec Committee will meet immediately afterwards. And then the Graymont Neighborhood Association will meet on Wednesday, February 18th at 4:30 p.m. at the Smithfield Branch Library. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Pro Tem.
Thank you, Madam President. Evergreen Neighborhood Meeting will be tonight at 5 p.m. at the Evergreen Missionary Baptist Church. East Thomas Neighborhood Meeting will be held tonight at 6 p.m. They meet on Zoom. You can call the office for Zoom information. South Pratt Neighborhood Association will also meet tonight at 6:30 at Lively Hope Baptist Church. Ansley Neighborhood will meet on Thursday, February the 19th at 6 p.m. at the Ansley Rec Center. Druid Hill Neighborhood Meeting will be held on Monday, February the 23rd at 6 p.m. at Protective State. The next public safety meeting will be held on February the 24th, 1 p.m. Please submit agenda items no later than Wednesday, February the 19th by 12 noon to Gregory.Stanley at birminghamal.gov and ashanta.cephas@birminghamal.gov. If you have questions, please call the office at 254-2302 or 2096. Also, going to be having an event at it's called the North Birmingham Hope and Help Hub. It's going to be at the Salvation Army Community Room, 2015 26th Avenue North. That's going to be Wednesday, February the 18th from 12 to 5. So it's residence centered. It's going to be a welcoming space for residents to connect, to get real access and real help in real time. I just want to echo what my colleague said. I want to extend my sympathy to the Jackson family and just thank Reverend Jackson for all the contributions that he made to the world. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you so much. These are announcements for District 7. We have the following neighborhood association meetings coming up this week. This afternoon, the Green Acres Neighborhood Association will meet at 6:30 at the Living Christ Worship Center. On Thursday, February 19th, the Hillman and Hillman Park Neighborhood Associations, they meet jointly. They'll be meeting at 5 p.m. via Zoom. You can call my office to get that Zoom number. On Friday, February 20th, the Garden Highlands Neighborhood Association meets at 4:30 at Mount Hilliard Baptist Church. And then on Monday, February 23rd, the Tarpley City Neighborhood Association will meet at 6 p.m. at the Mirador Center. At this time, I would like to wish happy birthday to Mr. Nicholas Wilson. He's 104 years old today, and his uncle, he's the nephew of Mr. Nathaniel Bagley of the Office of City Attorney. So we all want to wish Mr. Wilson a very momentous and monumental birthday. So thank you to him. And he is a voting citizen of District 1, so I'm glad to do that on behalf of Councilor Woods. Also, in keeping in line with the condolences that we shared today by my colleagues and the mayor, I'd also like to offer condolences to the family of Jesse Jackson. As Councilor Smitherman said, if you had the opportunity to ever be in his midst or to hear him speak, he was always very encouraging and uplifting to all of us. I know most of us remember one of his famous quotes, "Keep hope alive," when he was running for presidential campaign, but I just saw this other one, and I'd like to leave you with this one. Another famous quote of hope and persistence that he left was, "If you fall behind, run faster. Never give up. never surrender, and rise against the odds. And so again, in memory of Dr. Jesse Jackson. At this time, we would like to thank our officers on duty. We had Officer Pinkert, and we have today with us Officer Tarrant. So thank you for your service and joining us today. And we also had fire inspectors on duty, Inspector Snow Griggs, and I'm going to learn how to pronounce his last name eventually. Is it Bavall? Okay, thank you. So we appreciate, I'll say it again. We appreciate your service. At this time, we will entertain any community voices. Mr. Clerk?
Chairman Sterling.
Okay, Mr. Sterling, you Mr. Sterling? Thank you. As you come forward, if you come to the mic, you have 3 minutes. You'll see the time countdown on the panel right here. And to your left and to your right. And good morning, if you give us your name again and your address.
In Jesus Christ's name, good morning.
Good morning.
Each and every one. My loving council members, my special mayor, and all the council members. I'm a citizen at 2413 Reed Road, Birmingham, 35215. I am honored to come before you, appealing for your special blessing, all of you all, because I'm a son to all of the mothers and to the sons of you all. I would like this to be with the mayor, the city, the councils, the out-of-town guests, visitors to take part in this effort with us. So I'm appealing for your help. I've given you the information. You can decide how you want to do that. You know I need your loving special help. We want Birmingham to be an international destination for tourists to come get in these hotels. Thank you very much. Love you. And then you have the disaster relief. We're going to help Jamaica get some food in their tables. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for bringing this before us. And councilors, we did get a handout, this information. Thank you so much.
Love you, love you, love
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. All right.
Everybody.
Thank you, sir. At this time, we'll entertain a motion for adjournment. All those in favor, please say aye. And before we adjourn, I did also want to note, councilors, we do have Committee of the Whole meeting tomorrow at 3:30 here in council chambers. We do have 4 items and a presentation that we have on the agenda. And as Councilor Vasa stated, we are planning to take up short-term rental with our March meeting. And so if anyone had been received information that that was before us tomorrow, we're giving some additional opportunity for that information to be finalized. So that will coincide with National League of Cities, so we'll be calling a special call meeting for that one. Thank you so much. At this time, we're adjourned. Thank you.
I tell you what, if there's something that's really worthy of being grateful for, it's working with good people. We really didn't want to start doing things until we quite understood what was most important to the neighborhood.
Because you are the front line for all things that go on in the district.
And so for the last 100 days, and today's 100, excited to say, we've putting the work in and to really understand what's important to the neighborhoods, and now it's a clear message in terms of what we do. The idea kind of came about when we first got office, and we said, what's the best way to really understand what's important to the community? And so we decided on putting a survey out. Their message was clear that the top 3 priorities are public infrastructure, public safety, and making sure that zoning and development is handled in a way that's respectful to the neighborhood.
morning. So today we are out here with our neighborhood leaders throughout District 4. Today we are planning with them to set the vision for District 4 and how we would chart our course for the next 4 years. So we want to focus on community development, economic opportunity, public wellness, and then building sound and resilient communities.
We got the most, number 2.
And so neighbors today are gathered to share their vision for District 4 over the next 4 years and how we'll accomplish that together. One band, one sound.
This is what I want our team to be as neighborhood leaders and as the city council. I want us to move in one band, one sound. So I want us to understand what the vision is for District 4 and then how we want to establish it. I think it's imperative that we're all aligned. And so when I'm moving forward and making actions on the dais, I'm making sure that I represent the voices of community members throughout District 4. Because if I'm not in tune with my neighborhood leaders, I'm not doing my job properly. And so I want to make sure that we're doing that. All right. Yes. So I just want to make sure that people have an opportunity to connect because there's so often, since the pandemic, we haven't had an opportunity to connect and be face to face. And so I think this is a huge opportunity for neighbors to get to know each other. They can fellowship with each other, they can collaborate with each other, and they can most importantly learn from each other. There are so many resources in our 19 neighborhoods that we have in District 4 where we can learn from each other. So what happens in Woodlawn may be an opportunity for us to recreate and replicate in Collegeville. What we have in Collegeville may be an opportunity for us to replicate in Norwood. And so that's what I want to make sure we get out of this exercise that we're doing today. And yeah.